Today, we're going to explore our new Diffusion plugin Hazy, diving into each control to show how you can achieve a softer, dreamier look for your footage. First, you need to install the latest version of the plugin from our website. Once done, you can locate the plugin in the Effects section under the Color tab. Simply type Hazy into the search bar and it will appear. Hazy can be applied to both sRGB and log footage. For log footage, we suggest applying Hazy before delogging for a more accurate and controllable result. Now let's dive into the controls. The controls are organized into two sections. The first section is the main controls, with visible drop-down lists and numerical inputs. The main controls provide basic settings. The second section, Advanced Controls, allows for more fine-tuning and is located within the tabs and as on-screen controls. In the Manufacturer drop-down menu, select the camera brand used for your footage, or choose a more universal gamma group, such as ACEs or standard gammas for non-log gammas. In Input Gamma, select the specific gamma for your footage, for example, S-Log3, C-Log3, Gamma 2.4 or HLG. Next, choose your desired filter style. For better visual representation, let's switch to the Xyla chart. There are a range of different filter styles available to provide a different and unique look to your footage. These options include the likes of Black Pro Mist, Smoke, Bloom, and more. The filter strength sets the overall strength of the filter. Selecting a smaller size such as an 1/8 will result in a more subtle, tight effect around strong light sources. Selecting a large size such as 1 will result in a more spread out, diffused effect over your whole image. The intensity slider controls the strength within the bounds of the size of your selected filter. Increase it for a more prominent diffusion or reduce it for a more subtle touch. The spread slider determines whether the effect is bright and focused or softer and more diffused. As you increase the slider, the effect will become softer and more spread out. Let's return to the neon shot and apply those settings. Now you have the starting point for your diffusion effect. If you're looking to improve your look further, Hazy offers additional settings to help you customize the effect precisely. Each advanced section can be toggled on or off. This makes it easier to see how individual adjustments impact your footage. Using the Customize Response controls allows you to shape the look of your diffusion. Make sure you turn on the OpenFX overlay and you will see a graph with points at the top of your preview. Each filter style uses 1 to 3 layers to build up the diffusion effect. The graph contains 1 point per layer, and the position of the points shows the appearance of each filter style. Every point, based on its style, has its own movement direction, which is indicated by the lines. You can either move the spread slider located under the graph to modify each layer in relation to others, or move the points individually. Now, let's return to the Xyla chart and explore the Customize Response in more detail. Moving the points horizontally will modify the spread of each layer. Moving the points vertically will subtly adjust the intensity of each layer. The leftmost point controls the fall-off of the layer closest to the light source. Drag this point to the top left corner of the graph for a bright and tight look. The rightmost point is what we use to control the background scattering of light, which lifts the black levels of the image. Dragging this point to the right will lift the brightness of pixels far away from a bright light source. The middle point is used to control the main fall-off between the light source and darker areas. Pull the point to the left for a sharp fall-off, or to the right for a more gradual fall-off. Let's return to the neon shot and apply those settings. Now let's turn on the white balance section. Here, you can adjust the temperature and tint of the effect to fine-tune its overall color. Quick tip: if you apply small adjustments here, you can then enhance the overall effect by boosting the saturation control for a more vibrant finish. The saturation section sets the amount of saturation within your effect. You may want to increase the saturation of the effect as brighter areas will mainly appear white. To increase saturation, Adjust the saturation slider by moving it to the right. If the saturation control is not having the desired effect on bright areas, use the color averaging slider. It will take the average color from the surrounding pixels to boost the color in bright areas. The qualify slider controls which parts of the image are affected by the saturation sliders. Move left to mainly affect the highlights, or move to the right to affect the darker areas as well. The exposure section allows you to increase the overall exposure of the effect. You can boost the power of the effect by up to 5 stops using the exposure slider. Additionally, you can adjust the color of the lightest part of the effect with the red, green, and blue sliders. The tone mapping controls adjusts the clip level of the output tone mapping, giving you a better control over the roll-off of the highlights. Exposure Qualify controls what parts of the image are most affected by the exposure sliders. Move left to mainly affect the highlights, or move to the right to affect darker areas as well. Enable the diffusion map to visualize where the effect is being applied. This view shows the difference between the input and the output, or in simple terms, bright areas on the map show where the image is being modified the most. Adjust the visibility of the diffusion map to suit your needs to make the map more or less visible. You may need this if your desired effect is very subtle or very pronounced. Now that we've explored the controls, let's see Hazy in action with 2 examples. Let's create a golden hour effect for this shot. You can do it in 2 ways. To create a soft golden hour effect, we'll start by applying the bloom style at 5% strength. Next, we'll reduce the overall spread, boost the exposure, and adjust both the white balance and saturation. We'll add a touch of red to the overall shade using the red channel in the exposure section. In this case, we can see how the temperature slider adds warmth to the entire image by affecting the diffusion throughout. To add a golden glow solely to the window highlights, apply the bloom style at 5% strength and reduce the overall spread by moving the spread slider left. Next, boost the bloom by moving the exposure slider right. Then, adjust the red and blue sliders to achieve the desired golden orange color and increase the diffusion slightly by moving the qualify slider right. Finally, move the intensity slider to the left to make sure that the diffusion is softer. Let's compare. Here's the original shot, and here it is with Hazy's bloom effect applied with temperature sliders, and here it is with Hazy's bloom effect applied with exposure sliders. For this low light shot, we'll apply the haze style at half strength. Next, we will adjust the spread using the spread slider, increasing it to 65, and lower the rightmost point slightly outside of the style direction to help soften the diffusion effect. After that, we will tune the white balance by shifting the temperature and tint sliders to the left to achieve a nice neon blue. Additionally, we will increase the saturation and add the color averaging to enrich color in the lighter areas. By shifting the saturation qualified to the right, we can add the diffusion effect to the darker areas, such as the background tubes which are currently unaffected. Finally, we'll increase the exposure slider to intensify the diffusion and move the green slider to deepen the blue in the light areas. And there you have it, a stunning neon shot highlighted by Hazy. Let's compare. Here's the original shot, and here it is with Hazy's haze effect applied. And that's Hazy! If you're ready to elevate your footage with customizable dreamy diffusion effects, you can purchase the plugin on our website. Head to the link in our description below to get started. Thanks for watching, and happy grading!